I'm the type of person who has to see something to believe it. That's why I didn't believe in climate change until August 5th, 2017. I'd heard about it my whole life. People said the ice caps are melting and we're gonna run out of fossil fuels, but we always had plenty of gas and winter was still too cold for me. I didn't really think climate change was a problem until, well, before we get to August 5th, let's talk about July 22nd. It started out like any other summer Saturday with a heavy rainstorm and a trip to the grocery store to buy pizza and beer. But on my way home from Rouse's, everything started to change. The roads I'd driven on minutes before had turned into a lake. Miraculously, I made it home, where my friends and I spent the day on the porch drinking beers, watching people kayak through the streets, and praying that our cars wouldn't flood. The next day, we learned that this was a freak rainstorm, a 1 in 100 year rainstorm, which means that in any given year, there's a 1% chance of a rainstorm like that. Hearing this, I felt relieved because I probably wouldn't be around for the next one, and my car had survived, but just barely. You can imagine my surprise when 3 weeks later, on August 5th, we had another 1 in 100 year rainstorm, but this one was even worse. Now, I'm not the best at math, but even I can figure that the chances of having two 1 in 100 year rainstorms means that I should probably take a closer look at this climate catastrophe. Since then, I've seen extreme weather patterns intensify, with ice storms in Texas, floods in Nashville, and historic droughts in Colorado. But this speech isn't all doom and gloom. I'm more interested in solutions than problems. When it comes to the climate crisis, there are a number of promising solutions, from switching to renewable energy to public transit, but there's one solution that's not getting nearly enough attention: precision fermentation. When we look at global emissions, we can see that energy is the biggest problem, but farming comes in second, producing around 18% of emissions. Most of these emissions are methane, which is produced when cows, sheep, and goats convert grass into protein. They burp out a bunch of methane, which is an extremely potent greenhouse gas. When it comes to animal farming, methane is not the only issue. If we look at how the Earth's surface is used, we can see horrifying trends. 1/4 of our Earth's surface, that's 25%, is used for pasture-raised animals, yet they only provide 1% of our protein. Once again, I'm not great at math, but that seems like a terrible return to me. Not only do animals take up land, they devour crops, guzzle water, and emit waste. I remember driving through North Carolina in college and passing by this terrible stench that lasted for miles and miles. I didn't know it at the time, but I was driving past literal poop lagoons caused by pig farming. Animal agriculture is the leading cause of species extinction, ocean dead zones, and habitat loss, with 80% of deforestation in the Amazon coming from cattle ranching. But plant farming isn't perfect either. Palm oil is a major source of deforestation, and monocropping causes soil degradation and pollution. It's been 10,000 years since the agricultural revolution, and it's time for another one. This system of farming may have worked for our ancestors, but it's not working for us. And if we want to feed a growing human population, we need to find a better way. Imagine a world where we can create the proteins we need without relying on animals or plants, where we can create foods with the same taste and nutrition as the foods that we currently eat. This isn't science fiction. It's the promise of precision fermentation, which may be the future of protein, but only time will tell. What exactly is precision fermentation? At the most basic level, it's the process of taking microorganisms like yeast and bacteria and turning them into proteins or other molecules. And it's similar to the way we brew beer or make yogurt with a high-tech twist. We can create these molecules in compact, controlled environments where farming isn't even possible. In theory, we can create foods with tastes that we crave and nutrition that we need. I dream of the day that I can eat a bowl of ice cream with the same health benefits as a salad. This day may be closer than we think. You may be skeptical, but precision fermentation is already in our food chain, and it has been for decades. If you've eaten cheese, then you've already tried it. To make cheese, you need rennet, which originally came from animals. Farmers would scrape the lining of a calf's stomach and use that to curdle cheese. In the 1990s, scientists learned how to make rennet from enzymes, and now this process of precision fermentation is widely used in most cheeses across the world. Insulin is another example. Used to treat diabetes, we originally got it from dogs, pigs, and cows. To make 1 kilogram of insulin, you would need the pancreas of 50,000 animals. When scientists switched to precision fermentation in 1982, insulin became more widespread and saved countless lives. If we evolve past using animals for food, we can save billions of animals from lives of misery and suffering on factory farms. As someone who's been inside slaughterhouses, I can tell you firsthand that no animal deserves to go through this. Just like cars replaced the horse carriage industry and kerosene replaced whaling, I believe that we can use technology to move past the war we've been waging on animals for thousands of years. We can create a kinder future for everyone while enjoying the foods we love. 2 huge dairy companies are already investing in precision fermentation, and there's already animal-free whey protein and ice cream on the market. I've tried both, and they were fantastic, but oat milk ice cream is still my favorite. With this new technology, we can change our relationship to animals from one of exploitation to coexistence. We can pave the way for a more compassionate world. Thank you.